So good morning, and I'd like to welcome everyone to Waco ISD's Partnership Breakfast. My name is Stephanie Heinz, and I'm the Partnership Coordinator for Waco ISD. As we conclude yet another amazing school year with the Adopt a School program, we would like to take the time to thank, honor, and recognize the incredible partnerships throughout our school district. Today in the audience, we have Waco ISD school board members, as well as principals, school coordinators, and of course, our Adopt a School partners, which of course is why we've gathered here to celebrate this morning. Everyone here today has the same goal, helping to grow the educational experience for our students in Waco ISD. You all put in countless hours of hard work and dedication to not only our students, but also to provide amazing support to our wonderful faculty and staff as well. Saying a simple thank you doesn't even begin to express how much each and every one of you are appreciated. You all deserve a round of applause for your time, service, and dedication to Waco ISD. Today, we truly have the unique opportunity to highlight partnership activities that are truly making an impact in the lives of our students and classrooms. We will begin with the Golden Apple Partnership Awards. These awards go to partners excelling in key aspects of campus, community, and student needs. As we prepare to begin the awards presentation, I would like to ask the Adopt a School campus coordinators to take their places on this side of the wall. I would also like to invite Mr. Pat Atkins, President of Waco ISD's Board of Trustees, to join me in presenting the awards. Unfortunately, Dr. Nelson was not able to be here this morning, but he is a man on a mission. He has taken the community involvement as his, I quote, battle cry. Thankfully, the Waco community is helping to answer this cry as we ended the school year with, are you ready? Almost 2,300 volunteers. That's amazing. Yes, round of applause for that. And so to put that into perspective, that is 800 more volunteers than we had last school year. So that's pretty amazing. And so now we will go on ahead and present the 2018 Partnership Awards.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to say it's wonderful to see the community really concerned for all of the students that are in that given area. Our partners, one of our partners this year has been Grace Church right around the corner from the school. And just from the beginning of the year, they've expressed their concern for students right here in our attendance zone. And, that's at the beginning, that sounds great. But what's wonderful about Grace Church is that they were committed throughout the entire school year. We've had about 25 members of that church that would come and read with our students at different times throughout the week. And what was beautiful to see was what was happening in May, because every one of those members are still coming, and those students are still looking for those individuals. It's just great to see. Our students were helped by that a lot, so big thank you to Grace Church. I'll give them a round of applause for Grace Church.
Good morning. My name is Lindsay Hilton from Alta Vista Elementary. We are so excited to partner with Mr. Francis from First Presbyterian and the congregation at First Presbyterian. Mr. Francis has mentored one of our students this year, and I think Mr. Francis's attendance has been even better than that student. And just to see this student grow under Mr. Francis's mentorship this year, it's been just a great thing to see. And I know that student is prepared for middle school because of the work he's done with Mr. Francis. One time this year, the student was having trouble looking up a word. Mr. Francis realized we didn't have a lot of dictionaries in our library, and he went out and bought a bunch for our school. That's just one example of his generous heart. And he's also worked with us to make sure that all of our students under McKinney-Vento receive packs of hopes, not just him, but also the other congregation at First Presbyterian. So we are so pleased and so honored to have that relationship with First Presbyterian and Mr. Francis, and so we're honored to present with them the Golden Apple Award this year.
Good morning. My name is Rachel Hanna from Lake Air Montessori Magnet School. I would like to congratulate Mrs. Yolanta Cross for receiving the Golden Apple Award for tutoring. She has put in many, countless hours for tutoring. She's there every day providing enrichment, not just for our GT students, but also our struggling students who need any and every kind of help. And she does this one-on-one with every student. And she's such a huge asset to our campus. And so we want to say thank you and congratulations.
Good morning. My name is Karen Curtis, and I am the counselor at West Avenue Elementary School, and I have the pleasure of presenting to Calvary Baptist Church. We had, I say approximately 20-something volunteers that came and did primarily the reading buddies. They did other things. They brought backpacks for the students. They provided huge pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving giveaways. They were really huge. The Reading Buddies was a volunteer program that initiative that we started, and they came from September, late September, till the end of school. I think like Crestview was mentioning, and they came from then all the way to the end. They came and would read with the students at lunch. The students became superstars on campus, because everybody wanted to have a reading buddy, especially Mr. Livingstone. I don't know if y'all know who he is. He is 6'5", and his two reading buddies were first graders. And so they were superstars, and he was a superstar. And we really appreciated all that they do. And the person that's here representing them, her name is so funny. Every time I send her an email, I always laugh because it's J-Lo, but she's not from the block. I don't think so. Okay. So if Jennifer Lowe, if you would please come and accept your award.
Good morning. My name is Craig Cox. I'm an assistant principal at GL Wiley Opportunity Center. This is Mr. Curtis. He is our principal. We have completed our second year together at the facility. He has come down with a really bad case of laryngitis and throat, so he's called in for the ACE reliever. But he wasn't available, so they sent me. Let me start by saying thank you to Members' Choice. Fantastic group of volunteers. A little bit about these guys. 1935, 9 family employees of the Veterans Administration Hospital got a charter to start a credit union for its employees and families. 80 years later, they are still serving families, and their mission is to enhance the quality of life and economic well-being of all that we serve. Our children at the elementary that they've been serving all year, and the teachers that they've been supporting through their gifts for supplies and the things that they provide for us, is not about economics. When they come and they lay in the floor and they read through our LLI kits, and they play math Jenga and they pull a math block and have to do a math problem, and Paul can't answer it, but his second grade partner can. When they lay in the floor and they build paper mache castles through our STEM projects and the things that we're trying to do, the children see a different group of adults that don't have a connection so much with them other than caring about coming. And they came faithfully, month after month, even during STAR tests when I wasn't prepared and they weren't allowed to come. They were ready to come and serve. Guys, I'm so appreciative. Mr. Cox, thank you so much for allowing your employees, Carrie and Vanessa and Mildred and Paul and the other guys that weren't able to come. Thank you guys so much for coming. We look forward to another year. They are going to continue to support our teachers in what we're going to call the Members' Choice Teacher Appreciation Award each month. And the gifts that they provide allow those teachers to put things in their classrooms that enhance instruction. Thank you guys. Y'all come join us and get your award.
Good morning. I'm Melissa Tenney, and I'm from Parkdale Elementary, and I am here to award the Golden Apple for Community Service to Miss Janet Enriquez with the Senior Kiwanis Club of Waco. Well, to begin with, the Senior Kiwanis Club does many things at Parkdale, and this year they came to me and they said, we would really like to start a K-Kids Club, which is just the beginning of a lifetime of community service and leadership through teaching the kids as they were little. So I was like, okay, we're on board. Let's do this. So Miss Enriquez and I got together and we had grand plans. And one of the things that we wanted to do throughout the year is to do community service. And so we had these plans to go to retirement communities and just all these things. And so our first meeting, we talked about what we were going to do for our first project. And so we talked about going to Stillwell, and we talked all this stuff. We had these grand plans. So the kids were like, okay. So we left, everybody left, and two of the kids who came up to me and said, Miss Tenney, we talked afterwards, and we would really like to do pet treat bags for the Humane Society. And I was like, of course, why didn't we let you speak to begin with? And of course we gave them the opportunity to speak, but they just didn't until they were one-on-one. So what Ms. Enriquez and I did from there is give it all back to the kids, and they had a grand time of, we made homemade pet treats. We had cookie cutters and decorated bags, and all this to say is Miss Enriquez, who was right there all the time, and she is a great partner, and so is the Senior Kiwanis Club. But unfortunately, Miss Enriquez couldn't be here this morning because she is doing another community service event with her church. So, but she's a great partner, and we wanted to honor her. So thank you.
And I am actually going to present the next award on behalf of Indian Spring. The Psy Girls with Dr. Melissa Mullins with Baylor University. And so the Golden Apple Award goes to the Psy Girls for science and math. It was a simple choice for their campus. Psy Girls was easily our most popular service learning group this year, averaging 8 students per week, but reaching a total of 26 girls over the course of the year. The group regularly conducted experiments, went over the scientific model, and challenged our students to think critically. The group touched on every single science process teaks, but the greatest impact was to tremendously increase their students' interest in STEM topics. The students went on to talk about what they had learned in their science classes, which boosted classroom discussions. Throughout the program, academics were perfectly married to creativity, fun, and empowerment. Indian Spring would like to thank Dr. Melissa Mullins for leading the Psy Girls program across the city, but especially on their campus. We also would like to thank Cheyenne Lee and Heather Lanier for their hard work directly with the students. Thank you, Psy Girls.
Hi, my name is Robin Newman from J.H. Heinz. I am honored to award Baylor University's Solid Gold Neighbor program. If you're not familiar with this program, it is Baylor's new-ish initiative to make the service of their students more intentional and sensitive to the needs of their community. We partnered within the 2-mile radius of Baylor's campus. So they started partnering with Heinz throughout the summer last year and through the fall. We really worked hard to come up with a great model that worked easily for our staff and the Baylor students and our students. So basically through just the spring semester, we had a great family event, and then we had a book published with the art students, and then over 1,000 clock hours of tutoring happened on our campus only during the spring semester. Words cannot adequately describe how important they are to our school, and we look forward to working with them and building on our program next year. Ashley Bean Thornton and Ramona Curtis couldn't be here this morning, but I see some Baylor people in the audience. If Dr. Gorey maybe wants to accept the award for Solid Gold Neighbor.
Good morning. My name is Bobby Jo Wilhelm, and I'm a reading instructional specialist at Crestview Elementary. I am beyond excited and thrilled to recognize Mr. Borsellini. Although he's Mr. B on our campus, he donates and volunteers more hours than any volunteer I think I've ever met. He has a smile for everyone. He knows exactly where our kids are in their math. He wants to know where he can help and when he can help. He is amazing. His teacher, Miss Gillenwater, I don't know if many of you know her, but she's amazing. She and him work very closely, and she said she can't say enough about him. And Mr. B, she wanted her brother-in-law to cancel the vacation to be here, but he said no. So she is excited for you, and we are. He's outstanding volunteer, and this is what he said when we got to call him. I do not deserve that. He does deserve that. He also, she shared this with us, on Saturdays meets students at libraries to help them, our ELL population, to understand English. And this is kind of funny. Yesterday we were at summer school. Most volunteers are done, and we get that. He showed up at summer school, and the sweet lady said, "I'm sorry, what?" He said, "I'm here to volunteer for my Crestview kids." So we are beyond excited, and you deserve it, Mr. B. Come on up.
Good morning. My name is Debbie Sims, and I'm principal at Providence Heights Elementary School. And Stephanie, if I may, just a minute, go off for the agenda. I want to recognize we have a volunteer that has retired once, and now he's retired again, and Mr. Dupart. He has volunteered for 22 years for WISD for the math program. If we could just have him wave his hand, Mr. Dupart, and let's give him a round of applause. He retired, but he didn't stay retired. He came back, but this year he says it's official. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. All right, it is a great honor to the next agenda, and that is to recognize Michael Juder as an outstanding business coordinator. He is the glue that holds us all together at Providence Heights. He has the book clubs, and the book clubs. The kids, if I get in the way that book clubs can't happen, I get in trouble, okay? The kids want those volunteers to come. They come and they read during lunch. The kids give up their lunchtime to have volunteers come and read. It's not just about reading. It's about mentoring. Someone cares. What are you doing? How did you become who you are? It just goes beyond just having a conversation about reading. And Michael, he's just there every single day. I could not handle all the volunteers that come in and all the schedules, and if somebody's sick or the kids are sick, or we have to check the library to make sure we have enough chairs and tables, because it just keeps growing every single year. He's the most positive man I know, and not only because the book clubs that he does, but he's at 6 other schools. This program is just extended, and Dr. Nelson now wants this to go community-wide with all different other churches, and I hope that they do follow through and look to see what's happening at our school and can reproduce this throughout our community. But Michael also, he prays with me. He comes, and the old Antioch church does, And sometimes he sees my head's down and he'll say, "What do you need, Miss Sims?" And I said, "I just need a little prayer today." And he comes and he does that, and he's just there, and he makes us feel good. And it's just nice to hear his voice every single day, knowing that he is doing the best he can, and our students have a joy for the love of reading. So it's with the honor that I recognize Michael Jeter as our Outstanding Business Coordinator this year. Well deserved.
Next, it is my pleasure to recognize the Outstanding School Coordinator, Lisa Saxenian at Waco High. So just to give you a little idea of what all she does on top of her regular duties as the Dean of Academies and Instruction, she organized 2 two-day blood drives with Carter Blood Care. She helped with the Financial Literacy Aid Program with Community Bank and Trust that is coordinated through the career prep classes. The Waco Fire Department and Waco High students teamed up for Hurricane Harvey relief back in the fall. And the Career and Technology Department was in need of a trailer to transport their spirit items to sell at sporting events and competitions, and Ms. Saxenian was very instrumental in helping to secure the donations that led to the purchase of that trailer. You know, I could keep going and going to all the other things that she does that I probably don't even know about. But I will share with you what Donna McKethan, Waco ISD's Director of Career and Technical Education, had to say about Ms. Saxenian. Lisa has demonstrated to me time and time again that she is an exceptional communicator and leader. In my opinion, she is the perfect model for a school coordinator. Lisa is a highly dedicated professional who knows how to motivate teachers and business leaders to unite for the betterment of students and the community. Congratulations, Ms. Saxenian.
Good morning. I'm Becky Woodard. I'm the instructional specialist over at Kendrick, and I'm here to present the Award of Excellence to Central United Methodist Church. Ms. Coleman and Ms. Hoffman were so disappointed that they couldn't be here this morning. Central United Methodist, before we even talked to them about being an adopt-a-school partner, came up to our school and brought a collection of things for needy students, for school boxes, school supplies. And then a couple of days later, and they said, we can do, we'll be glad to help in any way. A couple days later, our school called because we received a family that had been misplaced by Harvey, and they came up within 24 hours with a $300 gift card to Walmart for that family. They have volunteered to be reading buddies on campus. They come up, they're coach, they just do everything that you could imagine anytime we call them. They've been judges for different programs. The pastor walks in at any time and just hands Ms. Coleman a check. They're willing to do anything and everything, and they're still talking about things to do for next year because they don't feel like they've done enough. So the award for excellence, it goes to Central United Methodist Church.
Good morning, I'm Lisa Hall, the principal at, as Dr. Nelson would say, the Tennyson Middle School. And I'm here today to present an award to Extraco Banks. Growing up, I'd always heard that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. I'm not sure if that still rings true. Don't ask my husband, he wouldn't be able to tell you. But I do know the way to a teenager's heart is through their stomach with hot chips. So when we needed to try to get a bunch of students to come and give up their Saturday early in the morning to come for intervention, we decided that we would call Extra Co Bank and ask them if they would help us by providing snacks and lunch. On the announcements in the week before, I would announce that we would be having a wonderful lunch, hot dogs on the grill or hamburgers on the grill, which enticed the students very much so. And so the students would come and partake. To cook for someone is an act of love. And these men would come in the morning, wake up, bring their trailer, pulling their grill to our parking lot, and cook these hot dogs and these hamburgers so that they would be fresh off the grill for our students. One morning in particular was the morning that it was freezing. I don't know if y'all remember that, but they were there cooking those hot dogs on the grill. And so I want to just say to them, thank them for their act of love for cooking for our students, who many of them have never had anyone cook like that for them before. So Alan Sykes is here as a representative for Extra Co Bank for us to award them with an award of excellence for secondary.
This is the part of the program where the agenda says Dr. Nelson's going to give closing remarks. I am not Dr. Nelson, but I will offer the closing remarks. First of all, let me begin by thanking Stephanie Heinz and her staff, not only for the Adopt a School program, but everything they do to coordinate all the volunteers in this district. Stephanie, thank you. Stephanie mentioned in her opening remarks that since November, we've seen an increase of volunteers from about 1,500 to almost 2,400. What she didn't mention is that means in the last 6 months, she's seen a 60% increase in her workload trying to place all those volunteers and coordinate all those opportunities for our students all across the district. You've done a wonderful job, and thank you. Mr. Dupart, I want to thank you for your 22 years of volunteering over at Providence Heights. I was just doing the math in my head. If you've been there 22 years, that means you've been volunteering almost as long as Alan Sykes has been serving on our school board. So I appreciate all you do for the kids in this community. A lot of times we refer to our district as Waco ISD. And I think that misses the point, and I try to make a point of referring to the district as the Waco Public Schools. And I do that because your school board doesn't own these schools. The administration and Dr. Nelson's staff doesn't own these schools. Our campuses belong to the public. And that's something that we've always taken very serious here in the Waco community. You know, when I kid Alan about his length of service on the board, but when he and I first got involved with the Waco Board of Trustees, we both came through an organization called Parents for Public Schools. And Parents for Public Schools was really involved with getting parents involved in the decision-making processes and getting parents back involved in all the public schools across our district. And, you know, as I was sitting up here listening to all the award winners, I started thinking about the great love and support we have from this community. We not only have Parents for Public Schools, but you know, a few years ago, you had over 60% of the voters in this community agree to raise their own property taxes. They went to the polls in a tax ratification election to raise the tax rate to make an investment in these schools so we could provide more dual credit opportunities and we could provide more literacy programs. And that doesn't happen in every community. But the voters here saw that there was a need and they were willing to come forward and invest. I think to the business community and their willingness to sit down and work with our Career and Technology Department in forming the award-winning Advanced Manufacturing Academy and Advanced Healthcare Academies to provide job training for our students that may not pursue a four-year academic degree. I had an opportunity to go to Jacksonville, Florida with Baylor earlier this summer and look at the professional development schools all across the country, and the partnership between Waco ISD and Baylor University was recognized as one of the outstanding partnerships all across America, again, because of the love of this community and the interest they take in the Waco Public Schools. It is powerful to sit in the position I sit in as a volunteer and on the Board of Trustees, and at every meeting see volunteers and community groups and faith-based communities that take their time and invest their time in our students and get recognized for it. We couldn't do this without your support. With this year, we were looking at a real, what could have been a catastrophe for this community. The legislature passed a law 3 years ago that said if your schools don't meet standards within 5 years, Texas Education Agency is going to close them. And in this community, 4 of the campuses that were affected, many of which were award winners today, all serve essentially the same neighborhoods. It would have wiped out all the public schools on one side of our city. And this community stepped up. And this community, through an initiative called Prosper Waco, said, we want to step up and help you keep those schools open. Prosper Waco is not just another nonprofit. I mean, there is a backbone organization. But when you look at what Prosper Waco is, it's a collaborative, community-wide initiative that includes all the healthcare providers, includes all the education foundations, includes the representation from Baylor, includes the city, includes the faith-based community, includes the nonprofits, all coming together to coordinate services and reach those families that are most in need in this community. And to have that sort of community support step up and say, for the next 2 years, we're going to invest in these neighborhoods and we're going to help Waco ISD keep these schools open, has been pretty powerful. I'll let you know something that Kyle DeBeer found last week on the Texas Trib website. There were 6 districts across the state that applied for relief under that statute, trying to say we want the 2-year reprieve and the additional funding. 1 got outright rejected. 4, they said, we're not going to make a decision yet, we want to talk to your partner. And only 1 was approved on the first round, and that was the partnership between this community and Waco ISD. And so on behalf of the board and the district, I just want to thank this community for your support. I also want to leave you with one other thought. It was really powerful listening to the specifics of some of the award-winning projects here today. We have a number of partners, and I'm not belittling any of the partnerships we need, because we will take all the help we can get. We have lots of folks who provide incentives, and they'll provide T-shirts or bicycles for attendance or gift certificates for free food. But what you heard today were partners who were coming on our campuses and mentoring and tutoring. Most importantly, the common theme today is they were forming relationships with our students. Those relationships are what's key. We can do the curriculum piece. With Prosper Waco now, we can provide on some of these campuses more wraparound services for those families that need that. But truly, if you're going to make a difference in the lives of young people, it comes down to that relationship. Maya Angelou said one time, people will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, they will never forget how you made them feel. And what you're doing on these campuses is making a relationship and making these children feel special and empowered, and you're giving them the confidence to move on and go on to the next level. So thank you for coming this morning, and more importantly, thank you for everything you're doing for the young people in this community and for Waco ISD. And have a great day.